Could you state your name and your position and then spell your name for us, please?
Okay, it's Robert Ricks, R-I-C-K-S, and lead forecaster, National Weather Service, Slidell, Louisiana.
Great. So obviously we're here to discuss Alberto. Can you give us some kind of latest update? What's going on with the storm?
Sure. We're still looking at SubTropical Storm Alberto. It's just off the tip of western side of Cuba, moving to the north, and we're expecting a continual passage across the Gulf of Mexico up to the North Gulf over the weekend and into early next week. We're still looking at the primary threats over the area being heavy rain threat. That should be the main concern. It's bringing a lot of abundant tropical moisture up into our region. We already have a soupy air mass in place already, so it's just going to add to that. So any rain that we do have forming, it will want to sit in place for quite a while, and with that we could see several inches of rain accumulating over time.
So obviously for this area, it might be a little bit different than points further east. So for your forecast area stretching from southeast Louisiana through southern Mississippi, what might the gradient be like?
Well, right now we're still a little uncertain as to exactly what's going to happen. Eventual track's going to dictate that, but right now if you're close to where the landfall would be, we could see rainfall amounts on the order of say 6 to 10 inches and upwards to maybe even 20 inches in some locations locally. That's a scary amount. It would cause considerable amount of flooding wherever that happens. West of there, as you get further away from the center to the west, the rainfall amount should fall off quite a bit. We may be looking at 2 to 4 inches just west of the track, and then as you get further away, maybe 2 inches or less.
Right. Okay. So with that being the case, what kind of time frame are we looking at? Are we talking immediately starting, or what are the dates we should be really concerned about?
Yes, well, we currently have in place tropical air mass already. So with that, we get the bubbling up of the thunderstorms with the daytime heating. And with that, we have the risk already this Saturday afternoon of say 2 to 4 inches, locally up to 6 inches already. And that's not even with the system in place. As we transition to more of a tropical system type rain, that's when additional rains can come in. But right now we need to get through, say, today and tomorrow with the typical air mass rain that we're getting now. And we'll see what happens once the storm gets closer.
So for our beachgoers, for they're looking forward, some of them may be here for a week, maybe longer for this Memorial Day holiday, when might they start to see some kind of improvement?
We're thinking we got to get on the other side of Monday, unfortunately. We're going to go through Memorial Day probably with the worst conditions in the area, and then we'll start seeing improvements, slow and gradual improvements Tuesday.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Now I've hooked the battery. I should have slowed down. I hooked the battery pack to it, and that activates the radiosonde. This is the high-griston thermistor arm here, and this is where we're going to tie it to the balloon, and this is the GPS receiver there. The package down here, this is actually a antenna that sends the signal back down to the ground station. And inside there is an envelope, a mailing envelope, so if anybody ever finds out in the field or something like that, they can drop it in an envelope and mail it back and we can reuse it. And we get about a 20% return nationwide, 20 to 25% of use back. Saves the taxpayers some money. do this twice a day normally, and then during hurricanes or severe weather threats, we do it 4 times a day, and sometimes more if needed. So we do a second fold on it. Everything is triple tied, and then we do a shock knot on it so that way it doesn't pull apart, because it's getting beat. It's pretty violent ride up. If you ever watch it go up, it bounces around quite a bit. We get about 2 per bottle. We get about 2 flights.
So while we're waiting, here's a question for you. What's the craziest thing you've seen with a balloon launch, as far as winds or events on the ground? Or
Seeing it in the data get attached to a plane in flight, and all of a sudden your winds go over 300 miles an hour. I've seen it hit power lines already. I've actually hit while a film crew was here filming the launch, I actually hit the building next door on film. And then we also launched the cat once by accident. It was not intentional, but the cat was playing with the string and got his spark caught. And he fell off shortly after, but we almost launched the cat.
That's amazing. Well, so, results on the kitty, was he okay?
Oh yeah.
Everybody at home?
No animals were harmed.
No animals were harmed, just a very scary moment.
Correct. We changed bottles. I'm in a room here if you want to see what it looks like. Got it, really? Stabilize a minute. That, and that's the temperature, and that's the red line is the humidity as it's going up. So we got a little bit of an inversion. That's because of the cooling, the rain cooled air. Then we're probably going to start seeing it getting pretty saturated here as it gets closer to that deck of clouds out there. Maybe do a skew T on here. So that's what this. It's building a skew T as it goes up.
Wow, that's cool.
So that's that, and then and this is the tracking. So it shows you which direction and distance it is away from the station right now. So you can see it's not that far off. It's only